to the wound care center. My leg is now healed. For years,
Aim high, Air Force.
If you would like to know whether or not Saddam Hussein has the atom bomb, just ask one of these three men. Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Jerry Kowalski.
Number two.
My name is Jerry Kowalski.
Number three.
My name is Jerry Kowalski.
Only one of these people is the real Jerry Kowalski, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, let's meet our panel. Actor and raconteur, Orson Bean. Actress and recording star, Gloria Loring. Film and television producer, David Niven, Jr. And from a current affair, columnist, Cindy Adams. Here's the surprise host of To Tell the Truth, producer Mark Goodson.
Listen, if you're surprised to see me here, I'm surprised. We were standing backstage, and Alex, who was ready to come on, walked up and said, I have to run. I got to get to the hospital. My wife is about to have a baby. So here I am.
hooray for Alex.
I've been backstage of this show, To Tell the Truth, since its first beginning in 1956. And I've never been in this position before, and it's kind of scary. But anyway, we're going to start on this group of folks. Jerry Kowalski, you've got to find out which is the real one, and let me tell you about it. I'll read you his story. Follow along as I read it. I, Jerry Kowalski, helped stop a secret Iraqi plan to build the atomic bomb. As president of an electronics firm, I received a fax message from a company in England inquiring about a device we make that can be used to trigger nuclear explosions. I immediately contacted the United States Customs. Working with them, we plotted out a sting operation. They noted that the fax came from the London office of a company that claimed they were marketing French fries. The British intelligence knew that the company was a front for the Iraqi military. That sting took 18 months to unfold. I met twice with the Iraqis. The operation ended successfully with the arrest of 2 ringleaders and the indictment of 3 Iraqi nationals. And I'm proud of whatever part I played in slowing down Saddam Hussein. It's signed, Jerry Kowalski. We're going to find out more about this businessman who became a real-life James Bond right after this.
Now Love's Rosebuds and Oxford Stripes come in extra large, large, and new medium, and small. 4 cute ways to help stop leaks.
How Cynthia Bell eats a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
I like to eat them in pieces. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup!
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Okay. Now, panel, all these 3 gentlemen claim to be Jerry Kowalski, who manufactures parts for nuclear bombs. Let's start the questioning with Cindy Adams.
Number 1, if you plot out a sting operation, do you have to worry about talking in your sleep?
I suppose you might. I have never thought about it.
Number 2, you said that you hear that you met with British intelligence and United States Customs. What about the CIA?
CIA was called initially, but they passed us on to U.S. Customs, and we didn't talk to them until after the whole affair was over, 18 months later.
I see. Number 3, How would you rate Iraqi intelligence community?
Oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate them about 6.
Okay, and then how would...
That's the end of that questioning, and now we go to David. David Niven.
Thank you. Number one, where is your company?
In San Marcos, California.
Okay, and number two, what actually is this little trigger mechanism that's needed for nuclear explosions?
It's a detonating device that, if I make an analogous, is what you would find in a camera. When you turn it on, that makes a 30-second humming noise, which discharges a flash lamp.
Number three, this French fry operation they had in England, I didn't know the English really liked French fries that much, but that's fascinating. What else were they trying to acquire?
Atomic switches that would set off a bomb.
Oh, that's a bell for you, and now, Gloria.
Number three, what did you actually have to physically do as part of the sting?
I physically had to go to London with another agent and set up a sting operation.
Number two, where was this sting, this meeting taking place in London?
It was at the Cavendish Hotel in London near Piccadilly, where we had the second meeting.
Number one, how many Iraqis did you meet with at that time?
2 Iraqi nationals.
And did you meet with anyone else?
Stopped you in the middle of a question, then we go to Orson at the end.
Thank you, Mark. And I think you should fill in every time Alex has a baby.
Okay. Okay.
Number three, whose law did the Iraqis break that they were arrested?
Well, basically international law, because there are only certain companies that are allowed, countries that are allowed to purchase atomic devices.
But number one, you can't be arrested, I think, for breaking international law. Don't you have to break the law of the specific country? Was it England?
Since the people were arrested in England, it was English law at that point, yes.
Number two.
Time is up. Very good questioning. And I wouldn't know who in the world to pick from these three, except that I already know the answer. In any case, it's now time to vote for number one, or number two, or number three. Now, our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote, with a guarantee of $1,000. If the panel is fooled completely, the team gets $3,000. Panel, you all set with your votes? Cindy, let's start with you.
Well, I don't know what a Kowalski should look like, but number three doesn't look like a Kowalski. Number one seemed to have had little beads of sweat on the top lip, which somebody who's going into a real sting operation ain't going to have. So it leaves me number two. That's it.
And
I always have little beads of sweat on my upper lip.
Are you in a sting?
I may be. I didn't like the way number three I thought he was too vague in his answer about what he really got up to in London, and so I have a feeling that the very sort of discreet-looking head of an electronic firm is number one.
David votes for discretion. Gloria?
Well, I've been fooled before by thinking with someone's vague answers, and that's one of the reasons I didn't choose number one. He didn't seem to know about what laws were being broken, and number two just had a confidence that I liked. So I voted for number two.
You're back on two. It's 2 votes to 2. And now finally, Orson.
I think these guys have all been very well briefed. I don't have a clue. I voted for number one because he looks rich.
Well, the reason is as good as any. So we ended up with 2 votes for number one, 2 votes for number two, and number three, they left you out completely. Now, we're going to find out who the real undercover agent is. So will the real Jerry Kowalski please stand up? Number two, you've got 2 votes. Will you tell us your name and who you are?
My name is Gene DeVito, and I import lamps that for skin toning and blemish removing.
Okay, well, no Italian parts, right? Number 3, tell us about you.
My name is Anthony Drake. I'm retired, and I like to paint seascapes.
Well, there were 2 incorrect votes at $500 a vote, so your team will receive $1,000. And now, by the way, Jerry, the real Jerry, I have on my desk here this device, which I gather is what it is. It looks very simple. I assume that the Iraqis do not have atomic capacity right now.
No, that's correct.
Do you anticipate they will?
Oh, I think it's just a question of time, yes.
All right. In any case, I want to thank you very much for being here. To tell the truth, gentlemen, we enjoyed having you. We'll be back in a moment with an actress who fought the TV networks and won.
Rough, tight, dry skin? That stops with Curel. When you apply Curel regularly, you'll feel its fast-absorbing rehydration formula take over. First, it seals in the healing moisturizers. Then the soothing Curel therapy rehydrates your dry skin. First it seals, then it heals. There's a clear line between other moisturizing formulas and Curel's rehydration formula. Curel for dry skin. First it seals, then it heals.
Oh, are you hungry?
Yeah, but what do you think they feed you at a health spa? All the rabbit food you can eat?
That doesn't look bad. Craft-free ranch dressing. I eat this at home.
Fat-free, cholesterol-free. Sounds like a real treat.
Oh, just try it. So what do you think?
You sure this is fat-free? Tastes like the ranch I eat.
Craft-free ranch non-fat dressing. Fat-free, cholesterol-free. But feel free to love the taste.
I may just make it through the end of the week.
Nobody's gonna break my stride. Nobody's gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
You love life too much to let any of it pass you by. That's why you wear a Tens. A Tens doesn't fasten low at the hips. It fastens higher at the waist to help it stay in place and protect you snug and secure.
Nobody's gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
When I grow up, I want to be a track star.
No one ever says, I want to be a junkie when I grow up. Don't let drugs get in the way of your dreams.
Ritz Bits and the taste of real cheese have come together in tiny sandwiches. Introducing new Ritz Bits sandwiches with cheese.
This is my new friend. His name is Andy. He is a dog guide, and he was given to our next guest by the International Guiding Eye Foundation. Now let's meet our next team of challengers.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Cheryl McManus.
Number 2.
My name is Cheryl McManus.
Number 3.
My name is Cheryl McManus.
Follow along, panel, while Andy and I read this affidavit. I, Cheryl McManus, am blind. I'm an actress, and I'm the first blind person to play a blind person. When I tried out for a role in the TV series Simon & Simon, there was great resistance to a blind actress being on the set. The network said the studio was too dangerous due to numerous electric cables, moving cameras, steps, and other hazards. But with the support of a writer friend and the threat of exposing the network to the media, I won. And I got the leading role, and that paved the way for other handicapped performers. There's also been a movie based on my life. I had a supporting role in that movie, but Justine Bateman played me. It was entitled, Can You Feel Me Dancing? Signed, Cheryl McManus. And we'll start the questioning with Orson Bean.
Thank you, Mark. Well, I'd like to feel you dancing, whoever you are. You're beautiful. It's fun to be around a beautiful blind woman because you can stare at her without being rude, you know? Number 2, are your scripts in Braille?
What happens is I have my scripts put on tape, and then it's put on Braille.
I see. Number 3, Mark said that the dog helped him read along with her. Does the dog help you in any way as an actress?
Well, just his emotional support helps a lot.
Emotional support. Number 1, do you ever use the dog? Does the dog get to have a job with you when you play the part of a blind woman with or without a dog? Or?
Sometimes he's worked with me and sometimes not.
Yeah. Number 3, all right.
All right, we'll go to Gloria Loring.
Number 1, who are the 2 stars of Simon & Simon?
Jameson Parker and Gerald McCraney.
Okay. Number 2, what was the most difficult part of being on the set?
The cables, sometimes walking around. And then sometimes they change the script, and that's difficult.
Number 3, how exactly did your writer friend support you at this time?
They refused to let me even audition, and he said that he would go to the media, to the press, and if necessary, to the Governor's Committee for the Handicapped.
All right, very good. Now we go to David Niven, Jr.
Thank you. Number 1, how long have you been an actress for?
13 years, but I've really got my break about 7.5 years ago.
Okay. Number 2, Did you start off on the stage or doing television or what?
Doing television.
And at number 3, what do you think is the most difficult thing about being a blind person other than tripping over cables?
It would be transportation to and from the set.
Well, finally, Cindy, you anchor person.
Number 3, can you explain the feel of a set?
Well, I have to get there about an hour before the actual set call, and I have an assistant who comes with me, and with Andy, if I have Andy on the set, or with my cane, I just familiarize myself with the placements of what's on the set.
Number 2, how did your co-star have to specifically readjust to working with you?
The co-star doesn't have to readjust in the sense that they mark my markings. In other words, instead of tapes, because I can't see them, they put sandbags there or other markings for me. But basically, it's talking to another human being.
Okay, time is up, panel. My dog here is getting a little nervous. I think he wants to go over and go to his mistress. So, in any case, it's time now for you to vote for either number 1, or number 2, and number 3. Ready to cast your ballots? Orson, why don't you start off the voting?
Well, second time in a row, I don't really have a clue. Somebody is briefing. I'd hate to think that 2 good-looking women like that are such good liars. You can't trust anyone. I voted for number 3 for no reason other than just a hunch.
Gloria?
Okay, well, I'm sort of in the same. I'm going to go just strictly with a hunch. They all certainly could be actresses, and they did a wonderful job. Number 2 is my choice.
Well, for number 2, and then David.
Well, I tried to peek through these sunglasses, see if I could get a clue, right? And couldn't. But I liked what number 3 said about the emotional support that her dog gave her, so therefore I voted for number 3.
Another vote for number 3, and finally, Cindy.
Numbers 1 and 2 seem to follow the sound of the voices. They looked. Number 3 looked straight ahead throughout the entire proceedings. I go for number 3.
Okay, here we have it. I don't know if the audience agrees or not, but it's interesting. I always play this game at home when I watch. The votes are in. There's Zippo for number 1, 1 for number 2, and 3 for number 3. So now for the moment of truth, I'm going to see if my little dog friend here can go over and identify his mistress. Go ahead and see if you can find the right lady. There she is. By the way, before I identify, I want to just say something that's very interesting, because I'm backstage at this show a lot, and this might be of interest to those of you who are curious about how we do this show. When we have somebody on who is handicapped, like in this particular case with Cheryl McGinnis, the other 2 ladies are backstage totally with their sunglasses on with canes and are in method acting as blind for 2 hours before the show. In other words, they are going around groping, so there's nothing that's going to give it away to you. I think it's fantastic. Okay, ladies, you skunked the panel. Number 2, tell us who you really are.
Hi, I'm Donna Lowry. I'm a floral designer, and I also work in plants and flowers, wholesale and retail.
Terrific. And number 3, you got the majority of the votes. What about you?
My name is Cheryl Fitzgerald, and I manage tax auditors for the state of Texas.
That's correct. Well, you stumped the panel, and you get the top amount of money, which is $3,000. Congratulations. Now, Cheryl, I think you're, of course, to be admired, and not only for what you do, but the fact that you set the trend for other handicapped performers. Are there other sightless people now acting and can get jobs?
Yes, there are many more disabled people in all categories of disability, and that was my main goal at the beginning, was not necessarily to act. I didn't like getting in front of people, but I wanted to open the doors for those that really wanted to.
I think it's wonderful. We have a clip from Simon & Simon, and if you remember it, can you set it up for us?
Right here, I've witnessed a murder in a museum, and the killers are after me.
Put that away.
Why do you suppose they didn't just kill you right then?
I'm blind.
If that's the case, I really don't feel that you're in any danger.
Everybody down! Get down!
Ladies, thank you very much for being with us on To Tell the Truth, and thank you, Doug. We'll be right back to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience right after this.
Remember the last time you microwaved chicken with breadcrumbs? Introducing French's microwave mixes. They're made just for your microwave to seal in the juices better than breadcrumbs, so you make tender, juicy chicken in delicious flavors like Italian Parmesan. One taste and you'll bounce the rubber chicken forever. New French's microwave mixes, the best way to microwave chicken.
It seems that every time you turn around these days, another pain reliever with ibuprofen in it is comparing itself to Tylenol. But you know what they can't say? They can't say they're gentler than Tylenol, because they're not. Tylenol won't irritate your stomach, the way ibuprofen sometimes can. That's a medical fact. And is it any wonder that today hospitals use Tylenol 14 times more than ibuprofen? Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
If you ever need an operator at 3 o'clock in the morning, Sprint has smart-friendly operators ready to serve you 24 hours a day. How can anybody be smart and friendly at 3 in the morning? So you want to be a cook?
Make it shine. No Fumes Easy Off Oven Cleaner is heat activated. So there are no gloves, no harsh fumes. No smell? And no grease.
Not bad, kid.
No Fumes Easy Off, the easy way out of a dirty oven.
Wait up!
Spreadery cheese snack from Kraft.
Lay it on me!
It's got everyone talking.
You're all covered.
It's so smooth.
I'm next.
So spreadable.
We're all in one piece.
It won't crack your cracker.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
The only protection for us?
New Arid XX Sports Scent.
It's the only leading sports solid that doesn't leave a white flaky mess.
New Arid XX Sports Scent helps keep us extra
dry.
Mixing love with laughter. Meet romantic couples from Cheers, Amen, and Coach on the next Donahue from L.A.
Today at 4 on Channel 4.
Channel 4, the New York Times, and the United Way of New York City understand you need to know more about the situation in the Gulf. So look for this map and helpline guide tomorrow in the New York Times.
Thank you. Now it's time to play one-on-one with somebody in our studio audience. Burton, who do you have up there?
Well, Mark, today we have John Gerardo from Lawndale, California.
Nice to see you, John.
Hey, Mark. How you
You're going to have a chance now to play one-on-one and pick up $500. I want you to meet a lady with 2 stories, and her name is Susan Lee. Welcome, Susan. Now, Susan's going to tell us 2 stories, only one of which is true, and you spot the true story and you get $500. Now, listen very carefully. Susan, what is story number 1?
They call me the crazy cat lady. I make yarmulkes for cats.
Now, let's hear her second story.
I'm a member of the Peking Pyramid Acrobats. I can support 9 men on my shoulders.
All right. Now, panel, to help John win the money, each of you are going to ask one question about each story, and we'll start with story number 1 about the cat that wears yarmulkes. Cindy.
Well, since Katz is a Jewish name, I ask if this is an Orthodox cat that you're making this for.
Yes, he doesn't eat pork, and his food is specially prepared.
There's your answer. David?
What are these yarmulkes made out of?
They're made out of cotton.
Gloria?
It says you make yarmulkes for cats. You just mentioned one cat who is Orthodox, but who are these other cats that you make yarmulkes for?
All the other Jewish cats in the world.
Incredible. Orson?
I wonder how many Jewish cats there are in the world. Do these cats eat gefilte fish?
Especially.
There's the story about the cat, and now for story number 2, Cindy, that's the question about the acrobats.
Well, you're supposed to be able to support 9 men on your shoulders. Honey, I'd love to support 9 men anywhere. I mean, tell me what's the first thing I got to learn to do?
Lift weights.
Okay. As a matter of interest, what is the combined weight of all these 9 men that you're supporting on your shoulder?
about 1,100 pounds.
Mercy.
Other than supporting these 9 men, what is the most spectacular acrobatic feat that you do?
I do a back bend.
Awesome. Now, are you staying here? You're not going back to Peking with these 9 guys?
No,
Who's going to lift them?
I live here now.
You live here now, all right.
That's the end of the question. Now, John, you've heard the cross-examination, and I want you to tell me, does Susan Lee make yarmulkes for cats, or is she that fantastic acrobat?
Well, I like the way she answered about the cats, so I would say she makes these yarmulkes for cats.
Yeah.
For a cat.
She's a cat yarmulke maker. Okay, yeah. Susan, what is your actual story?
To tell the truth, I make yarmulkes for cats.
Well, John, you won $500, and thank you for playing one-on-one.
Thank you very much.
And you have a yarmulke with you? Can we see it? Oh. That's it all. Now, we're going to be seeing you a little later, Susan, but right now, thank you for being with us on To Tell the Truth.
No fun. Getting out and enjoying yourself. That's what life is all about. And it's easy when you have the best bladder control protection. And Depend Elastic Leg undergarments give you the best protection yet with AbsorbLock, a super absorbent system that locks in 25% more. They're the best protection and the best way for you to get back into life. Hey there. Get back into life with Depend. With AbsorbLock protection.
It is estimated that more than 20 million people will come down with colds this year.
It's time for Benadryl Plus Cold Formula with maximum strength decongestant, fever, and pain reliever. Fight back with Benadryl Plus Cold Formula, a powerful weapon in the Cold War. No. Keep going. That's not it. Look.
Cranberry, Ocean Spray, most refreshing is...
Ocean Spray cranberry drinks. They're music to your mouth.
This toothpaste will blow you away. Wow. With a breath freshener that's a brush of fresh air. Wow. It's Aqua Fresh Extra Fresh with a breath freshener that beats the leading brand. Aqua Fresh Extra Fresh. It's a brush of fresh air.
Sure, plums are wonderful. But did you know ounce for ounce you get more vitamins and minerals after plums become prunes?
Sweet, delicious California prunes. Find out how good they really are.
This is the kitty with the yarmulke, with a little blue one this time, and she's also sitting in a special club chair made by Susan. That ends the show. Next week, equal time for Gentile cats. See you next time on To Tell the Truth. Goodbye.
This is Burton Richardson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson television production.
One woman.
I know what I see, and what I see is someone who's